Our special guest is a man who is known as much for his boyish charm as for behaving badly. And I'm hoping today for a fetching mixture of the two. It's Neil Morrisey.
Good afternoon.
Also joining us are two people who I think should be able to keep Neil in check, Libby Potter and Maria McCurlane. Now, I've decided we'll start today with our random dislikes. You know, things when you really hate something, but you couldn't really give a good rational explanation. So I'm going to give a kind of demonstration. I hate men in grey shoes. I can't bear people who say calm down. And I also really, really loathe people who have mobile phones but don't answer them, and I feel they should have their phones confiscated. I really, you know, I don't see the point. So that's mine.
Mine are, I have an irrational fear of not an irrational fear, a rational dislike, sorry, of hairdressers who say, "You've been on holiday already this year?" Because then you've got to go into a great big discourse about where you're going, etc., etc. And also builders who say things like, "Cheer up, love, might never happen." Yeah. And you want to say, "My whole family have been killed in a car crash." Please don't say that to me.
The thing that I irrationally dislike, actually I think it's probably fairly rational, is men, and I don't want to alienate great swathes of the audience, but men in khaki shorts with knee-length or sort of mid-calf white sports socks and white trainers stuck on the end of their feet. And they're always fresh out of the box, aren't they? Really, really annoys me. And the second one is people that laugh unnecessarily loudly. Like that.
I'm always grateful.
In restaurants. And you've got a fork full of food to your mouth, and they should really learn the Heimlich manoeuvre as well as laughing like that, because it's actually highly dangerous.
So, Neil, do you have any... You look very, very laid back. You don't look like anything ails you or irritates you.
Well, it does, you know, but I have to sort of, you know, you have to give the sort of calm front for it all. I mean, in my business, people tend to think that you could actually be quite funny, so... I get people sitting down in front of me, and they will traverse a whole bar of 50 yards to come and sit in front of me and tell terrible jokes, and I hate that. Yeah. I'm having to sit through someone else's beery rubbish jokes.
Can you not stop them by saying, "I've heard it, mate"?
Yeah, well, you can try, but I find it's a lot quicker. People go away a lot quicker if you let them do it and go away.
Yeah. He's very friendly. He's sounding like he's unfriendly. It's not that, is it? It's just that thing of
no, it's just
jokes
that.
and having to go like this.
And it's also it's like I don't have to listen to jokes for a living, you know, and I have to do them most of the time.
But because of your persona, that character, people think that they can just come and go, "Oh, right, Neil, mate."
Everyone thinks you're a friend.
Yeah.
So can I just talk to you about your persona?
Yes, you can.
Because that was very good. Very fruity. Bit Doctor in the House, wasn't it?
Steady.
That means you didn't think that was at all funny. That was unnecessary laughter.
Well, I don't remember Doctor in the House so much. Oh, yeah. That was one of the things. Ding dong, Miss Bell. That was the first I ever heard that.
That's so great. But you know how... I'm not talking about the parts you play, because, you know, I may not be very sophisticated, but I know those are parts and you're an actor. But I've seen you being you, or I think being you, say, you know, that university challenge you did for Comic Relief, and you were being like, "Oh, I'm a bit knockabout, oh, I don't know anything, or I'm a bit of a dizzy brunette, ask Stephen Fry," and, you know, all that stuff. Yeah. So I thought, well, that's what you're like, really. You're just like that, or that's that kind of easygoing, nothing bothers you, I don't really care about, you know, the hard side of life. And then I suddenly find out that you're a property magnate. Is that what it's...
No, I'm very into the sort of whole business side of life. I mean, it sparked off, I suppose, from being involved in this game, in show business, whereby there's all this sort of stuff going on. This is the end result of a lot of stuff that goes on backstage. I mean, an awful lot more goes on behind the cameras than it does actually at the pinnacle of it, which is us sitting here having a chat. Well, if you like, yeah, or the pimple, whichever way you like to look at it, the squeezy bit. So, I mean, it started off with that, you know, learning how all the bits of equipment worked, then learning how things got together, and so therefore, I've always had an interest in the backstage life of everything.
Yeah, but then you've got hotels, pubs, private club.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was it sparked me on. You know, I've got a lovely little hotel boutique hotel in Wales, and 2 pubs down there, one of which we're converting into a hotel, and a club in Covent Garden as well, private members dining sort of place.
And is that so you can say, "I'm not having that person in"? Private members, you can really... So you can be very nice.
I wish it was the
not
power
having that
game.
Person.
Well, we can do that anyway. I mean, you can do that if you're not private members, but the whole idea is in Covent Garden, it's where we are in Covent Garden, it's slightly... we're just on the border of a residential area, so you couldn't have a public restaurant or bar.
So do you think... You had what I would think of as kind of a difficult beginning, and you were in care, and then... So you've built a life which is... really tried to entrench yourself in a safe kind of empire, got lots of property, to make yourself feel secure and to ward off penury?
In a sense, I would say that, you know, that's probably true, but I would say there's probably something more, I don't know, because I don't consider that it was that tough a time when I was in the children's homes. But it does, whether it or me or a combination of the two has produced this sort of worker bee, then whatever it is, whatever security, I dare say I probably would have worked as hard had I not been brought up in children's homes. Mm. But yeah.
Do you need to work hard all the time? Are you always busy?
I like to be busy, but I like to be. I like to work just as hard at being relaxed.
But also,
in other words, I'll work really hard all year, and then I like to take a month. I like to take a month or a 2 month off.
Yeah.
You know,
you do work hard,
nothing.
Neil, but you're also known quite well for playing hard.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know, of course, you're nothing like your character in Men Behaving Badly.
No.
But you do like a drink, and you were also known as liking the ladies.
Yeah.
So have you calmed down a bit now with your business empire?
Oh, totally. I mean, most of that was media speculation anyway, because you're in a big TV programme at the moment, everyone watches it, then they want to have a deconstruction of the people who are in it. I happen to be one of those people at that time.
You seem absolutely nothing like that media profile of you.
Totally
not. At all.
Totally not. And they manufacture, as you'll see, about various people. I mean, it's happened to everyone sitting in the room, you know, but it's about how, I mean, because these days as well I have PR people who will guide and organise what will be discussed about you as much as possible. Well, you can never keep stuff out, but you can do damage limitation.
But you have to be a bit laid back about it, don't you? Because at the end, you know,
business.
You know what, tomorrow's fish and chips, isn't it? You have to say the papers, isn't it? Just. Yeah.
But even so, it's a business. As much as any of the tabloids will hammer you for one day, the next day they'll be giving £500,000 to my charity.
Yes.
So I don't really. I mean,
play the game.
It is a game, and
it's not true. You used to be a girl then.
that actually is true, but only in one film.
And I have to say, if you were a girl, you would be called Nigella, because you know Neil and Nigel are the same names.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, in Gaelic,
Neil
Neil is little champion in Gaelic.
It may be that, but I know that Neil, I was told, I've always believed, that Neil is the Gaelic form of Nigellus, which then became Nigel. Anyway, this is not...
I'll have to look that up.
I just want a bond. Neil and I are going to cook the perfect sort of food for kind of eating out of a bowl when you're slumped in a sofa with a glass of beer. Neil's already started his beer, not meaning to cast any aspersions on your character, of course. I'm making keema. Now, the thing is, keema actually just means mince. This is minced lamb, which actually is really nice and not used enough. Everyone uses minced beef. And with that, you have lots and lots of fresh coriander, which is kind of gloriously heady. Some tin tomatoes, always nice. Keeps it kind of a bit runny, because you do want to spoon it into your mouth. Some salt and some garam masala, which I think just means hot mixture, and it's got so many spices I'm not even going to begin. I like food very hot. I hope you do, Neil, because I've got some seeds in the chilli, but you can take the seeds out. Some ginger, which has just been peeled, and you grate it in, and that gives its own sort of heat, which is, I think, sort of deeper and less spiky. And my favourite, peas. Someone once called me the queen of the frozen pea, and I'm very, very touched by the accolade. Anyway, so that's it. So, I am going to ask you to do something for me. If you just, you can bring your beer, it doesn't matter.
It won't be any, you know, no...
OK, left hand, right hand, that's OK. Will you chop... I'm going to give you this. Will you chop some coriander?
Sure.
Now, I suppose if you've got your clubs and your restaurants, you're a kind of food person.
Yeah, definitely. Love it. And you know, I'm always in the kitchen, so you want me to chop all this lot up?
I do use two hands, otherwise I'm frightened
I was going to, yeah.
Otherwise I'm frightened if you might cut yourself. Yes, I like that.
Which isn't too difficult.
It's quite satisfying, though, isn't it?
I mean, getting in the kitchen for me is absolutely cathartic experience. You know, you can't beat it.
Do you interfere a lot with the chefs in your places?
No, I don't, because I know that they know a lot more than me. I'm a home amateur sort of chef, really. But
that's nice. I mean, this is really home food.
Yeah.
It's not restaurant food. I think people cook too much restaurant food at home.
Yeah, well, I've been tempted to sort of... I mean, because I'm a full believer in simple food cooked simply. I mean, if you get the ingredients right, you can't really mess it up. Only if you're trying to be a bit too fancy.
No, I know, and I always hate that. I'm going to do something terrible here, by the way.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to make a very loud clicking noise and then send smoke everywhere. OK, so everything...
Sounds good to me.
OK, then.
How do we do that?
I refuse to be embarrassed. You know, most recipes, if they're savoury, always start off like, you know, chop an onion and fry it. So I've done that. I've saved you the boredom of seeing it. Bit of garlic in there.
How fine did you want this done,
well, you
by
can
the
just,
way?
and that's enough. You can rest now. Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
It's
So
a thirsty job, that.
it is, but I'm grateful. So I'm going to put in the tomatoes. Will you just give me put a handful of that in?
Sure. How much that to start with?
Yes, a handful. I think, you know, it doesn't matter what you don't put in now, we can put in later.
Exactly right.
OK? Get the spices. Oh, I know what I'm going to make you do.
Ooh.
Spices and salt. So, stop it.
I can't help it.
You can't help it, can
No,
you?
you've got a
OK,
suggestive
will you...
nature.
I think it's you with the suggestive nature, sir. Very, very hot chilies. OK, will you grate me some ginger?
Yeah, now, this is best from
It's
underneath,
very exciting.
you
It's very...
reckon?
Yes, it is, and you can see how much you're grating.
What, does it come up on the top?
Look.
Wow.
Careful with your fingers, and the times I've grated bits.
No, I've
here.
got it underneath.
Very good.
there.
Now just
It's
give
worse
it a
than
bash.
mandolin. Do you reckon that's enough?
Yes. Wrap it hard. Be forceful. Be masculine.
There we
OK.
are. Not bad for a left hand.
Can you just dump in this,
Yeah, all of that.
all of it?
Fantastic. Now, you're not worried about, because sometimes
gonna-
laminates, that can be a bit fatty, can't it? I mean,
What's wrong with fat? What's wrong?
and I don't mind it. It's just I'm just thinking about this.
I'm just going to...
Obviously, I'm hugely into fat, you know.
When you say obviously... I'm going to ignore it. I'm just going to say I'm going to ignore him and say that a fork is the best thing for stirring mince. Otherwise, it goes all kind of compacted and horrible. This is my own fork. I've had it for a very long time with its burn marks.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you.
Because otherwise it turns into sort of meatball-y.
It does, or just bits of, like, very, very wodgy bits of hamburger.
Exactly.
Lamburger.
Lamburger, yeah.
OK, peas, please, Louise.
All of them?
Yes, all of white. I feel you've got to give more, Neil.
Yeah.
All of it. Don't worry.
I'm kind of under instruction, you know. I thought if I put them all in, I would hate to be
Okay.
picking peas out of that.
Quite difficult. And a bit more, I think, of this. And water, just to stop it from drying out. And you can sit down now, if you
Thanks,
like,
darling.
because I'm going to feed you.
Yeah, good.
But I'm going to finish it cooking first. Nice. It's the magic of television.
I see.
Here's one I prepared earlier. OK, let me get this over here. Very, very hot. Are you ready?
Yeah, very ready.
You won't mind if I
Is
put
this-
your
is this
beer
my
there?
bowl?
That's your bowl.
Sort of a rustic bowl.
The thing about mince is that it never looks wonderful, but I think food that isn't like photo op food, but just eating food, and I like anything that I can just shovel down with a spoon and not watch, and you know that every mouthful, like risotto, every mouthful is going to be the same as the mouthful before.
Yeah.
And in certain moods, that is just what you need. You know, if you had too much to drink, or a hangover, or just tired at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have this in the fridge, I just heat it up when I come in. OK, I'm going to spritz a bit of lime in. Do you like lime?
Yeah, I do.
I was going to say I started almost before you answered.
Yeah. No, I do. I love it,
OK.
though.
You will like it. And a bit of a dollop of yoghurt. It's like the lazy person's raita. Just the yoghurt,
excellent.
no cucumber.
Well, because then if it's too hot.
OK? Bit of coriander. And if you dig in, I'm going to get you some naan that I've been warming in the oven.
Oh,
I thought of everything for you, Neil.
thank you. Perfect. Because that is just great. And you're right, it's juicy enough.
Yeah. Like to see a man eat.
It's absolutely fantastic. I feel so sorry for you lot not being able to get involved in this. This is
Well, they
absolutely
can make
brilliant.
it. It's quite easy.
But you're right, it is so, I mean, this is great late night or afternoon. and
But you're elegant with your fork. You see, I just use a spoon and go...
I get the juice I would do later on, you see. I'm trying to be elegant.
Very nice. As we've got Neil here today, I wanted to try the hottest high-tech kidult toys on him. These are the kind of things that people buy pretending they're for their children, when the reality is they just want to play with them themselves. Now, who can blame them? I have here, may I just show, my 2 guinea pigs. They're called Goopy, or Goopies in the plural. And I'm going to show you how to activate them. So, come on, stay here, my darlings. You have to ram open a mouth and insert a carrot.
Oh.
OK, now the other one. Oh, dear, now
What
this
did it
one
say
is going
when
to
you
be
insert
harder.
the carrot? What did it say?
Oh.
There we are.
There we are. Now,
I know
they're
that
both
noise from
activated. Come They're like a cross between Teletubbies and Furbies, aren't they, to sound? Like,
Are they chatting?
they are chatting.
Oh, there he goes.
Do they chat to each other?
Yes, I think they do, but they giggle to each other. Could get a bit irritating after a while. Come on, babies, come back to Mummy. And you know you have to do something really awful. You have to press here. You have to be like Dr. Spock. Doesn't he do something like that? To stop, and they start snoring in a minute.
Yeah, it's a Vulcan hold.
Start snoring. Don't let me down. I'm as hopeless as this for my children. I want to... Oh, one bit me.
Oh, hang on. That's snoring.
They are snoring, yes. OK, that's very good.
Well,
Go
one
to
of them
sleep
is.
now.
Yeah.
OK, I think you have the Robo-Raptor.
Well, I've got the Robo-Raptor,
boyish.
which, yeah, exactly. You gave me the big boy's toy. Well, obviously, I have to give him a gentle fingering to get him going. Which is always good. And you can see he's this big, horrible thing here. Now, I've had a small amount of instruction with this thing, and he does stuff. But you have
What
to
can he do, Neil?
He's got sensors, so you can
He's got
do
sensors all over him, so you can actually, apart from the fact that he will actually... Oh, hang on. He'll start.
The Robo-Raptor.
Look, and that's him in his stalking mode.
It's quite
You can make him go...
stalking, isn't it?
That's very good.
Yeah. But he also... He's got his play sensors. So you can actually play with him like a kind of little puppy.
Oh.
And you put your finger in his mouth and...
He's mewing. He's
that the
mewing like
hamster's mewing?
Goopy. They're guinea pigs.
Oh, there he goes. He's actually biting my finger.
So that's very useful, isn't it? That Robo-Raptor.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you make him have a rest now?
I can make him
Oh,
have
he's
a
very
rest.
angry now.
Once
He's angry.
again.
You've irritated
Just-
him. That's very good.
Yep, I'm not sure if it...
Now,
yeah, well, anyway.
Libby,
Yes.
because you are really a proper news journalist,
Yes.
we've got you a world exclusive here.
I know,
This
I
is the
can't believe-
first time that the Robo-Pet has appeared on television. Now, the thing, Libby, about that Robo-Pet is that it actually really is that sort of kid-old thing, because it's really... Sorry. It's like an executive toy, because it's meant to be on a desk, and it's got special sensors, so if it's on your desk, it won't fall off.
Well, that's the theory. Do you remember those balls that you used to have that went...
Or those sand...
The sand
What is-
thing.
Yeah,
Well,
I
this is
can't-
kind of the 21st century version of one of those. And this is what it does. Like wiping its feet.
Yeah.
Howl.
Why does it howl like a cockerel?
Oh, look, begging for more. Shaking his little
It's
paw.
like that advert for the car.
Oh, no. This is the bit where it self-destructs.
That was quite clever.
It's very clever. I can't help thinking it looks like a cat that's being skinned.
Yes, it is a
Having a
bit.
wee.
Oh, yes, that is
Yes.
a bit. You'll have to clear that up, you know.
No, thank you. Yes. Rocking and rolling. Break dancing
I
comes
think
next.
he has delighted us for long enough, Libby. Could you just put him to sleep now? Now,
Shut up.
Maria, I've got a special treat for
I could
you.
watch that for hours.
I've got you Pinot.
I know, I have Pinot because this is really to show children, teach children about parenting skills. Because Pinot, you can't really turn him on or turn him off. You have to stimulate him quite vigorously. And he shows lots of different colours when he's happy. I think it's yellow for happiness. I don't know if we can see what colour he's going in his visor. Oh,
He
hello.
hates you.
Orange for very, very happy. Yes, you are. He's a very happy boy. And then if
OK,
he's...
I think we need the lights down a bit so we can
So you
see
can see what colour he is.
the richness of his emotional life.
Let me overstimulate. Come on,
Hey.
Oh, yes,
there we go. Now he's a happy boy. He's a very
pleasuring
happy
him.
boy. And let's see if
Very
we
good.
can
We
make...
can have the lights on now, otherwise, Maria, we can't know accounting for what's going to happen.
OK,
to
but he's
him.
not
So do
quite
you
like...
love him? Do you want to take him home?
No, I would like him if he was sort of more... He's too angular and sharp. If he was all fluffy like your little guinea pig.
looks
So
I
which
would.
ones are your favourite?
I think I'm a favourite of yours, actually. I like the
Yeah,
guinea
I like the
pigs. I think they're
guinea
the
pigs.
simplest, you know. I think keep it simple. But that for about a 7 to 10-year-old, I mean, they would love that,
I
wouldn't
know,
they?
that's true.
Because you could, once you've learnt this, rather
Maria, put him
seems
down
quite
now.
complicated sort of handset.
Oh, he's cuddling her.
Oh.
And bonding. Ah.
I think all of them covered in fur would be fantastic.
I think we should leave Maria. We should leave Maria to it. Can you shut him up
I
now?
just have to... Well, you can't really turn him off. You have to close all his sensors down, which is his visor and his ears. So if I'm going to bury him in my bosom...
OK, I'm going to leave her to that. Now, for a treat for our studio audience, we've got 10 retro Roberts radios worth £170 each. So the studio audience are sitting by their keypads and 10 of them are about to light up. Be quiet, Pinot. If your light on your keypad is lit up, then I want you to stand up. I'm very happy to be back in the kitchen, just for a change, and I felt there's so much lovely fruit around at the moment that I wanted to make a fruit salad. So I've got some honeydew melon, some Galia, some Charente, that lovely orangeness, some lychees, some pawpaw or papaya, whatever you want to call it, and some peaches. Now, it's not that fruit isn't nice like this, but I just had an inordinate desire to get my melon baller out. So I'm making a gingered and minty fruit salad. It's very, very gratifying. You have to put the baller in like this and then gouge out. Just do a couple. I might have to do one more. I've been balling all morning. Look, I've got a whole beautiful array here. And so you've got all your fruit like this, peaches just sliced, lychees just take with their shells off and the stones out. And you need to make a syrup. You boil up the sugar, water, lime juice, let that boil for about 5 minutes, and then pour it over some ginger, just peeled and chopped up, and some mint. And once that's cold, like so, you pour it over the fruit salad. It's very, very easy. And because I really don't like waste, when I was doing all the melons earlier, I kept all the pips and I squeezed out things from the skin. And now I just pour that through on top of the bits of syrup and the mint and ginger and have a bit of a squeeze through. So you get all the taste and all the fruit juices. And then, that's it. Without any further ado, you've got a ginger and minty fruit salad. Bit of a stir. In fact, it's probably easier. I hope I don't let loose any if I just go like this, because otherwise I'll bruise my little melon balls. OK, then, I'm ready. There we are. There we are.
Don't bruise your balls, Nigella, whatever you do.
We can't separate you from your melon baller.
No, you should have
giggling about your melon baller back there.
You shouldn't giggle, you know. It's seriously very, very exciting. I'm going to give you some too. You can dig in there.
Thank you. That's
OK,
great.
I kind of think that's the right sort of thing after the keema.
Yeah,
Don't
you're
you?
right.
You made the melon balling sound so suggestive.
OK, I think on that note, please, thank you, Neil. Thank you, Libby. Thank you, Maria. Bye-bye. See you soon.
Dinesh.